Hi, this is Praveen. This is my video submission for probability homework 9. So in the first question, we are given a stochastic process W of t. The expectation of W of t is given as 0, and the autocorrelation function is alpha into minimum of t1 and t2. So we are given another function, another process y of t equal to W of t minus W of t minus 1 for t greater than or equal to 1 and 0 for t less than 1. So we are asked to find if y of t is a Whiteson stationary process and also its mean and autocorrelation functions. So expectation of y of t is nothing but expectation of W of t minus W of t minus 1. So since W of t is 0, which is essentially a constant, W of t minus W of t minus 1 will also be a fixed value, so its expectation will also be a constant. Now the autocorrelation function will be of y will be r by t1 t2 is expectation of y t1 and y t2, which will be W of t1 minus W of t1 minus 1. We are substituting t1, similarly t2 in this expression. So now this is nothing but the first one will be the minimum of t1 and t2. The second expression will be t1 and t2 minus 1. So we get this expression. Now there can be two cases for tau greater than 1. So tau is nothing but t2 minus t1. So there are two cases for tau greater than 1 and tau less than or equal to 1. So if t1 is greater than t2 and t1 greater than t2 plus 1, so this can be represented like this in the number line. So in this case, if we take t2 to the other side, we get t1 minus t2 greater than 1, that is tau greater than 1. So if we substitute t1 and t2 values in this function, so the minimum of t1 and t2 will be t2. So similarly, applying it for all the other three expressions, we get the ACF as 0. Now for another case where t1 greater than t2 and t1 minus 1 less than t2, that is t1 minus t2 is less than 1. So this can be represented in the number line as follows. T1 minus 1 is less than t2. So here we have ry of t1 t2 will be alpha into this expression. So substituting the minimum values based on the previous expression, we get alpha into 1 minus t1 plus t2. So taking the minus out, we get alpha into 1 minus tau. So the ACF is as follows for the two values of tau greater than 1 and tau less than or equal to 1. So we can see that the expectation of y was a constant, and also the ACF is depends only on the difference t1 minus t2. So therefore y of t is WSS. Thank you.